police are checking out what came across as a shooting call or an accident. And right now they've told me they have no car, no victim, but I do believe there's some shell casings there. So they're just being thorough and checking it out. And, in case somebody shows up at the hospital, I guess.
Oh, I am so tired. I did not sleep at all yesterday. I think it's just so much. We did so much yesterday that I was just too amped. My brain wouldn't go shut off. I couldn't get comfortable, and I just couldn't get to sleep. So I finally gave up on it. Anyway, excuse me while I put my finger in the shot. It's the hazard of having your switcher in your camera, whatever. But this is where we are live from. And, well, we were live here and across the street at the other sports place. Somebody did well in their sports contest yesterday, and so they're printing up shirts to celebrate their victory. Finger. But, so yeah, obligatory. Got to come out here at all these sporting goods stores. We did the Kansas sampler one earlier, but they opened later. So we came over here to get some actual people shopping for stuff. But I appreciate that the one across the street is a local business, and we gave them some love, and we went to the one that opens at 7. And so, believe it or not, I'm gonna finish up, bring back my TVU and everything, and then go and have some coffee and try and stay awake while I drink my coffee. I gotta have my caffeine fix. Oh, yeah. And I gotta put my finger in the shot because I'm looking at that sunrise. The weather is moderating. It's in the 50s, but it feels tropical almost. So, yeah. And to see blue skies after I don't know how many days of gray we had, if not weeks, without the sun. I can't remember. Anyway, I got to go.
It's a nice day. It's gonna be nicer than yesterday. Oopsies. How about I turn off the car? Then it might lock for me. I need coffee. I didn't sleep last night. Look at the art. It is so pretty. Coffee. I need to get out of here before me and that stool become one. It's a very beautiful day. It says the temperature is, won't tell me. It's already 48 degrees right now. And I had a nice conversation in there, and that's the third space aspect of it's good when there are friendly people in your third space, your adopted third space. And I find that too many places people are very judgy of one another, and I include myself in that. Unfortunately, I have a bad habit of doing that, but I think it gets in the way of forming relationships. I mean, you don't know what people are about, what they've gone through in life, all that good stuff. So it's nice to just have good, pleasant conversation about things and not worry about people come from, or I mean, it's nothing to anybody anyway. It's like you're not gonna have a relationship with most people where that kind of thing would matter. It's just good to have a good conversation about things and take the edge off loneliness. And that's what a third space is all about. It's not about the coffee. The coffee is the excuse. And the coffee houses, I used to hang out in bars all the time, and I never drank, but I hung out in bars because I like music, and I like listening to music and stuff, and bands and everything. And then eventually I got to where I would go to a bar and not want to hear the music anymore. I just wanted to sit at the bar. But I'd always drink like a Coke. Rarely would I drink something alcoholic. Alcohol is not my thing. And then I got this girlfriend, and she broke me of the habit of going to the bar. And then after me and that girlfriend were no longer seeing each other, I tried to go back to the bar, and I was like, I just didn't feel right about it anymore. It's just like, bars, everybody wants to drink, and nobody really wants to talk to each other unless they're, socially drinking, and everybody's trying to pick up each other and not pick up each other, just all that stuff. So when I was with this girlfriend, we were going to this coffee house called Henry's in Lawrence. And I just got into the habit of going to the coffee house, and it just became my substitute for bars. And, there's some coffee houses that have music and stuff. So, I mean, in Kansas City there was G Coffee. I can't remember anymore. I think G Coffee was the one that was in Olathe. I'm trying to remember the name of the one. I might be getting them mixed up, but there was one close to the Grand Emporium on Broadway. Is it Broadway? Main. It was on Main. Daily Grind, that was the one on Main. And those are the two coffee houses that actually were, the coffee was kind of secondary. Their main reason for being was put on shows, music, all ages shows. And come to think of that, there was Java Gaia. The Java Gaia didn't do so many shows so much. They did some jazz or things like that, but artsy things, but not like hardcore music shows. And then Rumba Box, and before Rumba Box, in the same space, there was the Human Observation Lab. And I'm really going back into history. But, yeah, I wish I could find another coffee house like that for the music. As far as I know, there aren't any of those kind of places anymore. There used to be a thing in Kansas City. It was really hard to get a all ages place. But they didn't serve any food or coffee. There was a place called Blue Tile Lounge on 39th Street. There's a lot of other places that I can't mention. I've forgotten or never really went to. The VFW Hall in Kansas City. A lot of these venues. But all ages type places really had a tough go at it because they got lumped in as by the police and the authorities as rave places where bad things were happening. Ooh, 2 or more kids are gathering together. They must be up to no good or selling drugs and oh my God, are white kids hanging out with black kids? Can't have that. No. I mean, you might think that I'm making that up. I'm not. Kansas City was really bad about that. Police busted up a rave, and we're talking on camera about how proud they were that they did that because, we can't have these kids hanging out after hours. I still get worked up about it, and I'm like almost a senior citizen. I still get worked up about it. I mean, when I was in my 20s, that's the way it was. And I'm sure in the 60s and 70s it was even worse. Although to hear some people say it, oh, it was so much better way back in the day, the day before my time or whatever. I remember kids used to go to a place called Pogo's, which sort of derives its name from what was popular in the late 70s, early 80s, which was pogo dancing, which was a punk rock thing. And but the funny thing about Pogos was it was all like disco music, pretty much. And they sold watered down beer, and they were over on the Kansas side. And a lot of kids used to sneak off even on weeknights and get into trouble with that place. I think that's what eventually ended Pogo's. I think there was another place too that. Anyway, I'm reminiscing too damn much. I gotta end this boorishness. My videos are getting long. Woohoo!